Hello and welcome back to Oxygen Not Included, part 5 of this video playthrough. Thank you to those viewers who are watching and keeping me right on the mistakes I'm making. Let's put it right to start. Yes, absolutely correct that this barracks is no longer enclosed and needs a door putting back on. And yes, I did forget to wire up the oxygen diffuser down here, which we do need to do. Thankfully, all easily fixed. Though this one requires a transformer as well before it'll work. We can have that ready. Okay, I'm getting a lot of idle dupes, so we need to get cracking with work again. Everything's going okay down here, all is reasonably well. So, we're working up here right now. We're about to get everything going. We're moving into the caustic biome. Let's quickly look at our research situation, see if there's anything we're going to need for that. We're going to need liquid-based refinement processes ready for when we go into the swamp biome. Not quite there yet. We're not looking at any of these yet. No, we're largely okay for the moment, research-wise. So I'm going to get smelting ready, because that's going to be needed reasonably soon now. And then once that's done, we'll work on stuff ready for the swamp biome, because we may as well have some research going on than not. This digging is, as you can see, a little bit harder, because the materials are digging through. While we wait for that, to have a quick look around the area, see what else we might have discovered. Was nothing terribly new yet, still lots of swamp biome around the edges. Another caustic biome past that swamp one. Still not seeing any of the frozen biomes yet. We're going to have to dig a bit deeper for that kind of thing, it looks like. However, here we are. So, let's just dig this out a little bit further. But we were also talking about moving this water over to join our main reservoir, so that's something we can be doing while we're waiting. So plumbing, still using our liquid pumps, which then needs pipe work. We have to be careful with said pipe work where it's going, because we don't want to get it mixed up with our latrine plumbing. So in fact I'm going to go down this way. And that's not going to work. We don't have a bridge that wide, so I'm going to have to go over. Bridge. Bridge. It's a bit of a faff, but we can get rid of all this once we are done emptying this area out. The roof that we probably also want to mine this area a little bit further. Of course, now everyone's gone to bed. Food situation is getting low again. It's time to make some more mush bars. Again, I'll keep some more dupes occupied. not entirely sure why Nisbet is sleeping in the dining room. Does Nisbet lack a bed? No, that's Nisbet's bed. Who knows? New printables. I'm going to get Devon, just someone who is very strong and will run around and moving things around. It's going to get very valuable soon. So, a new bed, a new mess table. And start to dig out the dining room a little further. Skills. Liam. Is going to become an improved farmer. Nails. A tinkerer. And Devon, a supplier. And similarly, priorities, we're going to set Nails to do the things that require moving things around as a priority, and basically nothing else. There's always stuff to move around, and keeping him focused on that will help speed up a lot of things. Research has been completed, so now we'll grab those ready for the swamp biome. Oh, we have a new little hatchling in our ranch. At which point I am going to find the old one and butcher it. No, not yet. Still hasn't produced an egg, so we'll leave them for a while to do that. Usually coal is generally being created in here as an excretion from the hatches, which all then gets taken down here ready to be used by the generators. Ah, we never finished down here. Excellent, we can do that. So, the carbon skimmer needs a liquid input and output. It needs water. And we'll put out polluted water. Now, we could add that directly back into the system again, but we don't want to mess this up, ideally. So for the moment, I'm going to draw on water from... Where should we get our water from? Actually, I think we will just keep using this. There's no reason why we shouldn't. So it needs power. That is easily done, of course, because the generators are down here. And plumbing. That's our input pipe. And then we're going to do a bridge to link up to our dirty water pipe. Okay, here we are, almost ready now. So, going to create an airlock just here. A side here. We're going to start moving out ventilation, that's where it is. We're going to have a gas pump. That'll require power, but I'm actually going to do that via a manual generator again. Just to keep this section slightly more contained, because it's going to be very temporary just until all the gas is cleared out of here. Then, those comes down here, and we have gas filters. The way these work is that it will ensure that a particular gas goes one way and any other gas goes another. So these three are going to be our initial storage for chlorine. And these three will be our initial storage for the hydrogen. And then finally, anything left can just get pumped out into the atmosphere. This needs wiring up down here. All this has been built now. The carbon skimmer is now working. Look at our plumbing. There's water coming in. Now this will go through our water supplies very quickly. As you can see, it's not really stopping. So what we need to do is put some kind of automation onto this. So for that, we want something that clearly I've neglected to research yet. So we'll come back to that. Research is currently ongoing. Oh, perfect timing. So research. Gases. Gases, improved ventilation, has all the different atmo sensors and so on that we need. So let's get that done quickly. Then we'll come back to our carbon skimmer, which I will in fact just turn off for the moment until we can automate it properly. We're struggling with power, it would seem, so let's have a quick look why that might be. This transformer is doing too much. Doesn't look like it. All the loads seem fine. Ah, the battery is empty, so we do in fact need our second coal generator now. Which should work exactly the same way as the first and go into the same battery. gas filter. Output 2, we want it to be chlorine. Over here, output 2 is going to be hydrogen. They also need power, which the manual generator should be able to provide enough to keep all of this going. But obviously we always want batteries. So they can be for an emergency supply at night. I'm also going to put in a little bit of automation here, which is simply a switch. So we can turn that pump on and off at a distance. Because ideally, we want to keep this airlock closed as much as possible. Looks like our research has been completed again. So before we go into this, get too much further, we're also going to start wanting HAZ suits. So time to get those researched ready. But we should have our automation systems ready for over here now. What we're going to need down here then is an atmo sensor, which tells us when gas pressure is of a certain range. We still don't quite have what we need to automate this properly. Advanced automation needed, which is all down here. So, no great rush. The carbon dioxide heat down here isn't a huge problem for the moment. But once that's researched, we can finish that section off. Focusing back up here again, everyone's hard at work. We're running out of copper, so get a bit more about that loaded in. I think we could possibly do with a little oxygen down here as well, because that's looking a little bit low up here. We've got all that working. We're actually going to flip our switch for the moment. To turn all this off because it's currently just sucking out oxygen, which we don't need to suck out yet. What we want to get to is sucking out far more interesting gases of hydrogen and chlorine. phosphorus igneous rock, and eventually bleach stone, which is the true thing we want the caustic biome for, is the bleach stone, because that is what we need to get things clean enough to start going into swamp biomes. Now I've got some hydrogen in there, so we can turn that on again. A little bit of hydrogen escaping it here, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to grab the fungal spores, in this case, ready for when we start our mushroom farm, but that is still waiting on us going into swamp biomes so we can get the slime, which is what they need for fertilizer. Food order has been completed. Still like to have a bit more available if we can, so now we've got quite so many dupes. Our food supplies don't last quite as long, but we are still making pickled meal out of all of our meal lines, so at least what we have shouldn't have any trouble going off. Now, that should pump away quite happily, and as you can see, the different gas reservoirs start to fill up with their own particular gas. Research is coming along. Forgot to put in the automation down here as well. We want exactly the same automation as we have for this one. So we can just extend that wire and it'll work on the same instructions that the first coal generator was, because that currently is wasting coal. To the point where I'm actually going to increase the priority there. Oh, never mind, it's being done. Oh, looks like all our eggs have now hatched. So lots and lots of hatches running around. All of them are, however, normal hatches. Many of which are still wild because they haven't been groomed yet. They're a bit sad in some cases. Yep. And that's all we have time for today. See you next time when we'll get further into the caustic biome.